Hello, whistleblowers across the world. Um, so today's tune breakdown has been a request, and it's for this lovely song. Its Irish title is Baidin Fheilimi or Baidin Fheilimi. I'm probably not saying that very well. And if my mate Buzz is watching, he's a great Irish speaker. He's a great Irish teacher. Anyone wanting to learn the Irish language should get in touch with Buzz. And if you are interested, I can, if you leave a comment, I can always send you his details over. He runs Irish speaking classes. He's based in the north of Ireland, but he does online teaching, online groups. He's fantastic. So, big shout out to Buzz if you're interested in learning the Irish language. So yeah, so please excuse my pronunciation of Baidin Fheilimi, or as it read to me, Baidin Fheilimi. Yeah, I don't speak Irish, as you probably guessed. Anyway, it's a song, but it's also played as a slide, which is a 12/8. Now slides are played sort of fairly fast and fairly flat. They don't have the same feel that jigs do, and they're counted in 12/8, which is four groups of three. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Da, 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 da. They tend to be played without the sort of traditional kind of bounce that jigs are played with. They're more played flat and straight, and always played really fairly fast. Now, the music of Kerry is they play a lot of slides in Kerry. They play them all over the place, but Kerry is known for slides and polkas, and they play slides at a fair old pace. So this is a tune which is also played in Kerry. It's played all over Ireland, and it's played as a slide, but it originated as a song, and it has lyrics, and again they're all in the Irish language. I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce any of the lyrics. So what I'm going to do as usual with these tune breakdowns is I'm going to start off by playing the most basic version, again separating notes which are the same with cuts. Then I'm going to have a look at how we can breathe, because there aren't really any marked breathing places in the music, but some sort of more salient points in which to take a breath. And then finally we'll add a little bit of ornamentation, probably not a great deal. And then what I'll do is I'll show you how it works played more up tempo as a slide. So here's the tune of the song Baidin Fheilimi. So as I mentioned before, this is counted in 12/8. So it's four groups of three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Da, 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 da. So it's kind of a tripleted four. So its technical name is compound quadruple time. So even though we're counting in 12/8, we're actually counting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12/8 is also known as compound time because it divides into four groups of three. So I've set my click to 60. Now if you notice in the music you've got a first time bar and a second time bar on the second and the fourth line. So that simply means the first time bar, you play the first time bar, go back to the beginning, and then when you get to the bar before the first time bar you go to the second time bar. And it's the same with the B section. All the way through, first time bar, repeat, back to the beginning of the third line, all the way through. Don't play the first time bar and then just play the second time bar. So here we go, set my click to 60, and here's the count. 2, 1, 3, 4. 1, da 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 da. So let's have a look at the A part. So that's the first part. So this is a two-part tune, the A part and the B part, and both parts are repeated. So the A part, let's have a look at how we can breathe on this. And it says the breathing points aren't written in, but remembering the golden rule that the breath should not displace the tempo in any way. And it's always better to breathe after a longer note than a shorter note, because on a longer note you can steal a little bit of the time and use it as a breath. Cut that note a little bit short, use that as a breath. On a quick note, you don't really have time, and especially when you come to play this quickly, or if you want to play it as a slide, then you've got to be really thoughtful about how you're going to breathe and where you're going to breathe. Okay, so let's have a look at the first line. So, because I'm playing it slowly, I'm taking more breaths. And again, breathing will depend upon your whistle, upon your own breath capacity, and a number of different factors, certainly the speed that you're playing it at. So if you notice where I breathe, I'm going to breathe in the place which seems right for me. You're welcome to breathe in the same place, or if you don't need to breathe, you can get to another breathing point. But for now, we're going to take our time with this, and you may need to breathe in the same place that I do, but later on, if you're playing it quicker, you might need to breathe in a different place. So the breath marks are not fixed, but for now I'm going to breathe. I'll show you where I breathe when I'm playing it slowly. So first line. Breathe. Yep. So it's better to breathe there than to breathe after the B, because you've not got much time. Now, if we look at those three E's and how I'm separating it, yep. So I'm going G, E, cut the first E, tap the second E, F, G. So in slow motion. So the whole of that bar. Now I'm not going to breathe at the end of that bar. I'm going to get to the A because it's a longer note on the second line, and then I'm going to take a breath after that A. So it's going to work like this. Take my breath there. And then I'm going to take a breath after that D at the end of the first time, and it will be the same at the end of the second time bar. So let's play the whole of the A section really slowly. I'll play it through twice. So the first time bar, go back and play the second time bar, and just watch where I breathe. Now, I didn't necessarily need to breathe at the places where I did take a breath because I was playing it a little bit faster, but if you're playing it slower, then you will need to. So if I play it at this speed, And again, I'm separating those Ds with cuts because we can't separate with taps on the bottom note. If you prefer to separate with tonguing, that's fine. You could go and separate them gently by lightly tonguing. So let's play the whole of the A part at 60. And again, I'm just going to separate the notes, those three E's. First, second one with a cut, third one with a tap. And then at the end, the D's I'm going to separate with cuts. So 1, 2, 3. Let's have a look at the B section now. So from the third line, we've got the little pickup A, which we can put in. So we're going from the very last note on the second line, that eighth note A, quaver A. And again, breathing after a long note rather than a short. Let's do that again. So then we've got the fourth line, or the last line. So we've got a repeat of that first bit. So exactly the same thing. So I'm getting to that B, first note in the first time bar, taking a breath. So let's try that now at 60. 1, 2, 4. And then if we're going to back to repeat it, we'll play that little B. There's a pickup to go back. So now we've got the A and the B part. Let's put them together. So again at 60, A part twice, B part twice. 2, 1, 1. So as I said, we're not going to put loads of ornamentation in this tune, but we will put a few little bits here and there, some cuts and maybe some rolls. So the very first note, I'm going to start off with a short roll on the A. So I'm tonguing that, so it's going tongue, cutting the A and then tapping it. So I'll put that in the bar. So I cut the F sharp and I also cut the A, so it's going cut the F sharp, cut the A. Let's do the whole of that bar. Now, when we come to the second bar, yes, we can do a short roll, or it's easier sometimes just to tap. So we can go. So it's very difficult to go from the you really have to tongue that note and cut it if you want to do the short roll on the second A. So you might find it easy just to tap that note. So the second bar, cut the F sharp again, cut the G, cut the second E, tap the third. So second bar. Let's try the whole of the first line. And again. So the next line, again we can do the same thing, we can short roll the A. And the same cut, so we're going to cut the F sharp and we're going to cut the A. And then onto the first time bar. Yeah, I would probably just play that as written. Okay, so let's play the whole of the A part at 60 with the rolls and the taps and the cuts. 2, 1, 2. Okay, so let's now have a look at what we can do with the B part. So we're coming up from the A. So we can either just cut or we can add short roll to the F sharp and a short roll to the G. And again, it's up to you how you ornament it. You can either just cut it or you can use the short rolls. So the short roll on the F sharp is cut the F sharp, tap the F sharp. 1, 2, 1, 2, cut, tap. And with the G, same thing. Cut the G. Now you can either cut it with the B. I prefer to cut it with the A. For me, it just sounds a bit cleaner. So I'll show you with the B and with the A. With the A. Very little difference really, but it's what you prefer. So let's have a look at that first bar again. And again. And with just the cuts. Now with the short rolls. So the second bar. Yeah, we can short roll the B or just cut it. So let's try the first 2 bars. Well, there's only 2 bars on the third line. Let's try it with the rolls now. So on the last line, we can do the same thing again. Put those short rolls in or just put the cuts in. Or with the short rolls. And then the first time bar. Or short roll. And then we repeat, do the second time. And then we play the little beat at the end if we're going to go back and play it again. If not, we'll just end it. Just end it on the D there. So I'll play it through at 60 with the ornamentation that we've added. Again, it's optional. Use it if you like it. If you don't like it, then you don't have to use it. It's the great thing about ornamentation. It's one of those things that you can put in if you like it. If you don't like it, you can play this tune all the way through without any ornamentation, and it's great, works fine. And I suggest you do that when you're first learning tunes. Don't try and put the ornaments in first. Learn the basic tune, and then once you've got that, maybe just add 1 or 2 ornaments, maybe rolls or cuts, but never get too complex. Never make it overly ornamented, because then you lose sight of the tune, and nobody likes that. So here we go. Set my click to 60. I'm going to play through each part twice. A part twice, B part twice. 2, 3, 4. So if you noticed, when I needed to take a breath, even though the option to do a short roll was open to me, I just played the note or just did a cut because I needed to use the second half of the ornament, which I can put in if I don't need to breathe. But if I need to breathe, then I will just either cut the note or just play the note straight and use the second portion of that note for a breath. Okay, so that's how we play it at that speed. Now I'm going to play it through as a slide, which is played a lot faster and a lot flatter. And this is how it sounds when you play it as a slide. So I'm going to add a few more ornaments, not that many, maybe throw in the odd crown here and there just because I can. And then let's see how it sounds as a slide. So I'll zip my metronome up and play it as a slide so you can hear it. So I've zipped it up to 110. And again, I'm going to play it through fairly basic. And then I'm going to show you how the ornaments fit in when you're playing it as a slide. Now, you don't want to put too many ornaments in slides. They're not heavily ornamented. They tend to have more of an attack, so cuts are great in slides. Rolls to a degree, but really what we're looking for is the energy and that pace. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. 1, 2. So that's how it would sound if I was playing it more up tempo as a slide. However, as far as slides go, that's sort of fairly tame. I think a slide would probably sound better around about this speed. So this is at 130 now. This is kind of getting towards Kerry slide territory. So just to show you how it works as a slide at full tilt. So yeah, pretty frantic. And that was probably on the slower side for a slide that's played in Kerry. They really do play them at a fairly terrific speed. A lot of fun, but you've got to really be on top of your tune to really play it at that speed. Certainly at the speed that they play in Kerry. So there you have it. That's how do we say it again? Fheilimi. Yeah, as I said, Buzz, you can put me right on the pronunciation of this. So anyway, hope you found this tune breakdown helpful. Lots more to come. I've had a few suggestions and a few requests for a number of different tunes, which I'm going to hopefully get my head around, and over the next few weeks have a few more of these tune breakdowns for you. Also, as promised, yep, I've got the MK Whistle review, which is in the pipeline. I'll either do that next or the one after the one I'm going to do. So I've got a lot of new breakdowns lined up and some tutorials which I'm hopefully going to get up and have a chat with you about and show you some techniques that I use to work on ornamentation and also other things such as working on breath control and other such interesting whistle things which you need to know. So folks, if you found this useful, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my Whistleblowers YouTube channel. Leave comments by all means. I'd love to hear what you think, how you're getting on with some of these tune breakdowns, and any further suggestions for tunes which you may want, or even technique or whatever whistle related content that you feel you would like me to cover. Gosh, there you go. So for now, I will bid you all farewell, and I will see you for the next Whistleblowers YouTube extravaganza. Bye for now, folks.